you say how good sex excuse me. How good sex happens in a covenant love across an entire life. So I feel like there is this myth that a lot of Christians hold, believe, that they should try out before marriage. They know this truth. We know, we're taught in the church, we've all grown up listening to this truth that you shouldn't have sex before marriage. But I think it's easy to neglect that and, not take it seriously. And a lot of people feel like, why we're not compatible after we get married. So I want to know, is this a myth, or is it possible for two people who are in love to be compatible in every sense but sex, in every other area but sex? And how do you resist this urge to try out? And why is this myth that makes people want to try to have sex before marriage? Thank you.
Thanks so much for that question. So why not try out sex first? Is it possible to be compatible in every way? How do you resist? That's 3 questions. I want to say a couple things in response to this important question that are really close to my heart. Number 1, you always marry the wrong person. I didn't come up with that. That's a well-known quotation that you can hear from different people. You always marry the wrong person. What it means is that you will never be perfectly compatible with your partner. And there will be areas in your marriage of deep pain and deep dissatisfaction. Sex could also be one of those areas of deep pain and deep dissatisfaction in your marriage. And still, that person is the covenant partner that you're called to give your life to and to grow in the character of Christ, which is unconditional, sacrificial love for that person. I want to speak personally just for one little second. So I'm married. I've been married for 9 years, almost 9 years in July. Sure. Okay. I don't know if
I can talk like this. Is that better? Good. So I've been married for 9 years. I'm married. My wife's name is Lily. She's from Ayurveda. She's my best friend. And our sex life has not always been easy or uncomplicated. It hasn't always been fun. It has a lot of times, but it hasn't always been. And I want to be just very honest. If I had this mentality, let me try things out first, I wonder if I would have missed my best friend. Because I would have been looking for a kind of fake picture of what sex is in my mind. I would have been looking for a kind of personal satisfaction. That's the selfish sex that I was talking about. And I may have missed the opportunity to grow in friendship and covenant love with the woman that's my best treasure. I tell Lily every day, you're my gift from heaven. You're my source of joy. You're my treasure. I have so many names for Lily. I won't disclose all of them. But as you were talking, I wonder if I would have missed out on Lily, if I would have said, well, let me try this out and see if I get what I want, and then if I don't, I'm going to keep looking somewhere else. And one other thing that I want to say is, this is not a good example. But let's say that you just lost your mom or dad. And someone comes up to you and says, tell me all about how you feel right now. Tell me all of it. And let's say that person doesn't really know you very well, and they haven't earned your trust, and they're not committed to your well-being. This is something that goes to the very core of who you are. And they're asking you to just try this out with them and see how it goes and see if it works. I think many of us would feel like that's deeply disrespectful. That maybe it's an injustice or it's an insult. But we have this idea that sex is something cheap and easy that we can just kind of try out. And again, if we get what we like, well then maybe we'll keep going. And if we don't, well then, we're going to move on and look for someone else. But again, I think that that's a real cheapening of sex. So no, I don't think that we need to try it out first and then see if we get what we like, and then if we do, we're going to go farther with that person. In fact, I think that that's a really risky attitude that could make you miss out on something extremely precious that God has hidden, connected with a place of pain and a place of complexity. And how do we avoid this mentality of trying things out? That's a big question. But I think the steps that I suggested are helpful. How do you imagine sex? Who's teaching you about sex? Are you having meaningful conversations with married people about your sexual desires and your sexual expectations and your sexual experiences? And are they helping you think through sexuality? And when you're in a relationship with someone, are you talking with them at the appropriate stage about your sexuality?